welcome everybody to Wellington College in Berkshire, England. And for those of you who have been with us for the entirety of this morning for day 2 of the Women's Under-18s Six Nations Festival, I'm sure you'll agree it has been a fantastic one. England, Ireland and Scotland have been competing in their own mini 35-minute tournament this morning, and Scotland put on a show in the opening match. However, they came off second best. Lindsay Smith, such is the way with this 2 shortened games in a morning format, has completely shuffled the deck, and Mia Rowan, Usha, beg your pardon, that's the Irish team. Bex Whitehead and Gemma Gordon, where 2 and 3, Bethan Matheson and Robin Allen remain in the backs, the former of which was a try scorer, as she always seemingly is when she turns out in the blue with a thistle on her chest. For Ireland, Lani O'Donovan is at fullback. Aoife Heaney maintains her position wearing 11. Usha Daly O'Toole has moved from the second row to number 8. Mia Rowan maintains her spot with the 5 jersey. Otherwise, it's a whole fresh bed of talent in there, and Ireland are going to be riding high off a fabulous victory, 12 points to 5 against England. They came from behind, as did Scotland. However, despite having led for large portions of the match, it was Scotland who ultimately lost to England. The benches are stacked. They've all got minutes under their belt this morning. We're unlikely to see many of them. However, when called upon, you can count on impact. So this will be the last act of the day for Ireland and Scotland. England have got their feet up and they'll be kicking back and enjoying the players that they came up against from the stand somewhere. All the teams staying here at Wellington College throughout the week. I've heard great reports from the camps about the quality of the cuisine that is on show. So the boarders at Wellington College obviously being well fed when school's on, but we're in the Easter holidays. It is Easter Monday, and it is the Six Nations Women's Under-18s Festival. Day 2, the climax of the day for Ireland and Scotland. A saltire flutters, and the women in blue receive the kickoff from Ireland and get us underway. Scotland. Oh, they spill under the press of the Irish defence, and then they get the ball returned with interest and more. Lovely feet on show from Amy McConkey. Oh, and just a little shard of light to dart down, and one tumble. Is it too many? Then the grounding short. Oh, white line fever from Kitty Sweeney, who'd done the hard bit. She seemed to just lose her footing underneath the pressure of her own sidestep. And unfortunately for her, a penalty conceded, but touch missed. And Ireland, after a little juggle, go on the offensive. Oh, they look really fired up, don't they? Brimming with confidence after victory over England, but they conceded the breakdown, and Scotland can pause for a moment's breath and to find the touchline. Oh, and they just about find touch at the second time of asking, having missed previously. There was the dart. The footwork was good, and then things sort of got caught in 2 minds. Should I present? Should I go for one more? And eventually penalised for crawling on the floor. And that's as good a jackal as you see anywhere. A picture painted perfectly by Scotland's number 26, Cat Bird. Well, barely a lift. In fact, the lift came after the claim, but Rhian Bodle won't complain, in normal Scotland, because they have possession in the Irish half. That is, until some illegal Irish hands come in, and Scotland can send this deep into the Irish 22. Instead, they'll look to play with tempo. They've got a very impressive attacking philosophy. calculated adventure, I would describe it as. And they look to get it through the hands. Quick ball, the forwards working hard, and then Matheson just offering the ball, inviting Megan Laurie to hit the hole. But instead she doesn't. Instead it goes to Megan Hutchinson. Line against the grain, hitting that seam between the fringe and the back line. Whipped out wide, big runner out there too in Danielle Kashula. Scotland looking lively, looking sharp, looking for the offload, but not finding a way through the Irish defence. Penalty advantage. Bex Whitehead boomed back. Scotland still with that advantage, with all the numbers, with their danger woman. Just gets squeezed out of the contact from Matheson. And then the turn of Laurie. Just a reminder of the advantage from the referee is Ellen Nemo. Goes back in, oh, and
no advantage.
Referee impatient with Scotland's progress. So we come back for the penalty, and I'd imagine that Scotland will tap, and yes, they're not in the mood for hanging around. They want to try, they might just get it. Whitehead denied, close. Not right, left. Here we go, Scotland. Ireland defending desperately at the moment, trying to get their hands on it. But instead, oh, that was the ball, that was the line. But it needed a little more sympathy on the pass. Another penalty for Scotland to deploy their runners. They shift it right, they put some air on it, but Ireland are a match to it again. It is determined defence. Oh, Scotland reach and they get there. That's what you call a finish. The captain, Ellen Nimmo, looked to have been wrangled, but she reached for the paint and Scotland have the first score.
No, that's all right, thank you. Are you kicking? Okay, that's fine. Yep. No, I'm right, thank you.
A fine-looking strike, rewarded with a fine outcome. Scotland lead Ireland 7 points to 0.
Successful conversion by Scotland, number 27, Lee Waters. Takes the score, Scotland 7, Ireland 0.
And Neve Waters slotting the extras, and she is one of a few to have been playing Celtic Challenge this year. In the colours of Edinburgh, Neve Waters. So senior rugby exposure. You know, some of these girls out here are actually under 17. It's remarkable how some of these talents can rise and how quickly they can in the women's game right now. Scotland springing their step. It was Ireland who had the fire in those opening minutes. Boyd, by coming off the back of the victory against England. It's an interesting turnaround though, because Ireland have essentially had a 25-minute half-time and then running out to play a different opposition immediately, whereas Scotland have played 35 minutes, then taken their heads out of the competitive zone.
Thanks.
Wouldn't have watched Ireland and England, you'd imagine, because they'd have been warming up. and then they come out for their second 35. So there's some psychological obstacles for both sides to be hurdling in that sense, and it's an added element to this competition, which is very unique. The boys, on the other hand, they just play 70-minute matches. They'll only play 3 of the 5 nations that they could have played. Fields of Athenry ringing around Wellington College. Bet you never thought you'd hear that, but they're in fine voice to support their women who trail Scotland 7 points to 0 at the moment, and Scotland are absolutely stubborn to their DNA in looking to move it through the hands. The forwards and backs interplay has been one of the highlights so far. But muscular defence from Ireland puts paid to that for the time being. A little more direct, a little less guile from Kashula. Smart kick. Going nowhere. They find a bit of territory, and the Ireland throw will be under pressure.
5, please.
Can we do all the matches now? Yeah.
Can I? Yeah, thanks. This way. You in? Okay, that's good. Thanks.
Line-out has functioned very well for both these sides today, and Ireland, oh, they just release a massive carrier in the midfield. That's what you call front football. Scotland do a great job of hindering them, of utilising it.
Come back.
And well, there's outcry after sort of the messy collection. Ireland go off weaving, and Ireland go off weaving at some pace and with some intent.
No hands.
Classy break from O'Donovan, who was starting fly half against England moments ago, now doing the business at fullback. Ireland look to break through Lily Byrne.
Right.
O'Donovan frees up the hands, finds an offload, finds a lovely line as well. Our Scottish runners in the passing channel, buys the Irish some time. That's forward by a mile. Can maybe feel aggrieved, or maybe a little more ring smarts from Kitty Sweeney. If she'd passed it into one of those Scottish players, she would have had herself a penalty.
Take a step forward. Perfect. Catch! Bye!
Penalty to Ireland. And this will be sent to the touchline, and we can get a bit of action. It's been such a fluid start, that stodgy bit with the scrum. Finally ending in a penalty, and Ireland now have a line out just on the doorstep of the Scottish 22.
Numbers, please. How many? 5, thank you.
There you go. Scottish fan trying to energise their women. The defence is, it's a huge clear out, wiped out. And that's a great carry. Hands momentum through Kashula. And there's no release from the Irish. Lose a line out, concede a penalty. Just the errors compounded. And Scotland are going to take some of the pace out of the game. They'll have been gutted to have lost to England. They led 14-12. They eventually lost by 8 points. That is massive. The Lates changing direction, catching Ireland's wingers on the hop. And Scotland, they're into the Irish 22 now.
6, please. Don't take one. Not advantage.
Ireland's
Stay up, please. Stay up.
come up with an illegal play. Scotland, no consequence now. They can really chance their attacking arm.
Play behind.
And they do like to attack. Offload scooped up on the bounce, and then it's a rocket to the tiptoes, which
Come back here.
no attacker wants to receive.
Thanks.
It's interesting, Scotland are playing with a lot more structure in this game. They've previously tapped and they've gone and they haven't hung around, but it's a lot more considered, deliberate. They don't go to the corner this time, but they're going to launch a flying wedge in blue. No, they won't. They will go to the width, and they go to Ellen Nimmo, the try scorer, the captain in the midfield. But she is dispossessed. Might have done herself a mischief as well. Oh, Ireland are in all sorts. How about that from O'Donovan? Bullfighter-esque. But she was still very claustrophobic and slices the clearance.
Number 6 from Ireland. Substitution.
Well, it wasn't O'Donovan, I beg your pardon.
No.
It was
Number
Sophia
8.
White
Number 8, substitution.
with the
please.
cool head.
Thanks. Thumbs off.
Just a bit of a break in play for an injury. Really great vibes around the field. I mean, look at that touchline. Brimming with enthusiasm and support. And they've really been treated in the opening 2 matches and this one as well. 7 points separating Scotland and England moments ago. 8 points separating Ireland and England. It looks like we've got another tight affair on our hands here.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, thanks. You in? Right? Okay, thanks. All right. Stand back on. Scotland, in please. Number 6, please.
Dusted down and ready to fire back into action is the Scotland captain. You like Megan Hutchinson, plays both sides as well. Emma Jane Wilson, the Irish rank, she plays hooker, loose head and tight head. You don't see that too often. Oh, lifted into space. It just invited the run of Cat Bird, and she gleefully grasped it. Scotland travel back into the traffic, and they feel the full effects. 1, 2, 3, 4 juggles. The Cat Bird on hand for the bailout. Ireland defence standing firm at the moment, making life very difficult, increasingly difficult, very difficult. Stolen and sent and knocked on by Scotland. And the assistant losing her flag. Everything's going on that right wing out there.
Green scrum here.
Matheson, probably her first error of the festival. Bit of fight there from Aoife Heaney. Oh, that ball just needed to be delivered a moment sooner. O'Donovan came like an express train.
Blue scrum.
But it was forced her way too late.
10. Number 10, substitution, please.
That could be O'Donovan's last act. Sounds like there's a rock star coming on, because the crowd have gone wild for whoever is replacing the Munster woman. Aoife Powrie-Smith doesn't have a scrum half anywhere near her. So she's the freedom of the tunnel, but her pack can't back her up. Scotland have strayed offside, so Ireland have a penalty to assure themselves of anything that they try and do. Power from Ruby Asuma.
We have the advantage. No advantage. Blue 26 offside from scrum.
Leinster Sophia White and Arklow has missed touch, but Ireland get the chance to return. Again, Scotland, their own worst enemies in terms of discipline. Nice identification of space, could be on for Ireland. Bullocking carry, and then a brilliant hit down low from Pip Sutherland.
No advantage.
Who started against England, in fact. She wasn't due to. She was a late call-up, so Sutherland looks like she might get 70 minutes under her belt. There was the big don't argue. And Heaney chopped down. Ireland building pressure here with 15 minutes to go.
Number, please. Back, please. Thanks.
Ireland make sure of the ball. They're just begging for a hooker to wrap around, and it eventually arrives in the shape of Emma Jane Wilson. Emma Jane Wilson is going to run through the entire Scottish population almost. Denied at the last gasp, back in against the Grain Go Ireland, the closest they've been all match.
Hey.
No one's at home, through the middle of the ruck. Oh, more quick ball for Ireland. They just need to use it. Someone needs to be decisive here. Ah, it's a brilliant tackle. And then the steal as well. But it was against the law. Ireland tap. They go. Are they gone? Are they there? No, they're not still. Finally, at long last, multiple carries, multiple chances. Usha Daly-O'Toole puts her hand up and says, I'll finish the job.
You want me to tell you time? Okay. See how quickly.
Demonstrating her experience of her third festival. The Celtic Challenge. Back row comes second row. Wrestles Ireland across the line.
Clear?
A kick to level things. Oh, the strike was good, wasn't it? Needed to be shaped round. But Ireland won't mind. They're on the boards, they're feeling good, and there's plenty of time to overcome this 2-point lead that Scotland have. Lots of blue jerseys. That clear out was big, wasn't it?
Yeah? I mean, yeah?
From Neva Marnie.
Down 2 minutes. No, she's back. Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Thank you. On you. Yeah.
Scotland want to get a move on. 12 minutes to go of the morning session. And Roisin Sullivan, who sparkled in defeat against France and shone against England earlier this morning, launches a counter. It's got a bit lively now around the pitch. The crowd are into it.
She was lower.
2 points the difference. Scotland seeking their first win of the campaign. But something's happened in amidst all the bodies, and it'll be an Irish scrum.
Number 11, substitution, please. 11.
Scotland, 26-all draw against Italy on day one in their 70-minute match. A wrenching loss towards the latter stages against England this morning. It would square a circle nicely as far as the 3 teams were concerned, were Scotland to end with a victory over Ireland, everyone beating everyone. But if you're of an Irish persuasion, I'm sure you'll disagree. Ireland makes some good headway. And then they spot some space. Angled kick into the backfield. Matheson pinned all the way back on her 5. She loves to run.
Retreat, retreat.
This is going to work out nicely for Ireland. Usha Daly-O'Toole. She ain't passing this one.
Advantage.
From the knees, scoops it up. Ireland finding holes. Scotland all of a sudden looking tired. Presenting a little ragged. And Ireland with the bit between their teeth, smart hands, and it's a crucial tackle.
One. Come back to the advantage. Never one side.
Well, some offside already.
Number 24.
And this is getting tense.
Wrong side. 24.
Ireland go to the corner, they go to the line out, and you know, it makes solid sense. You feel with both these sides that they thrive when the field is fractured, when it's a little bit looser,
Side, please.
and it's more instinctive. But you do need a platform, and it comes just by the fingertips of Ireland. Double hit, then a big clear out is matched by Ireland. Here for the girls in green, who are carrying with such purpose, such belief. Another penalty. And it goes to Scotland. Initially, I thought that the arm was the way of the Irish, and I think so too Kitty Sweeney, but Scotland, fine touch.
Numbers, please. 5.
And they find a bit of breathing room.
Come close. Oh, okay, thanks.
Stolen by Ireland. Oh, swarmed. Gemma Gordon and Pip Sutherland. Crossfield, that's interesting. And it looked to be on the money, but it's going to scamper away clear of the touchline.
How many of you? Handing up. Yes. And please. Thank you. Drink. Oh yeah, your time.
Rashina Sullivan, with Ireland trailing by 2, goes off on an elusive run. Leaves 2 behind, but the third stops her in her track. Ireland very flat and shoveling the ball around. There are intercept opportunities when it gets like that, but Ireland have found the edge. Great tackle from Matheson on Amy McConkey. Sharp hands, flashy feet. O'Sullivan into the 22.
Never onside.
Scotland not onside. They're
11. And the
giving away penalties at will at the moment. And Ireland again going to go to the touchline. Sophia White sends them to 10 metres out.
Yes.
Haven't really seen Ireland flex their mauling muscles, to be honest, during the competition. So for Ireland, it feels like 22 lineouts are more of a platform for them to get into multi-phase and the like, rather than pinning it 5 metres out and making a driving maul effort
5 minutes.
a lot easier.
All right. Yeah.
There's plenty of ambition in the line out. They go to the tail. It's mishandled initially, but it's breaking up nicely out wide in the backs. Scottish defence holds firm. They've watched every Irish runner, and Ireland almost throw an intercept that would have ended the game. It was Scotland who suffered at the hands of an intercept that they threw against England earlier this morning, and Matheson, of all the people, if she caught it, there was only going to be one outcome.
This is the one. Sorry about that. You say on the left? Yeah, that's good. Thanks. We're going to do reset because we're not stray, otherwise we're going to have this from. Keep your mark again, stay on the left. Just take a step back, left.
Ireland looking to take the lead in the closing minutes. They deliver to the line, one of their strike runners. And now, through the hands, Scotland wrapping up Irish threats and pouncing on the loose ball. But they've had themselves robbed again, picked up, dumped. Katie Griffin driven to the turf. Surely Ireland have to score now. So many phases, so many green jerseys, so many opportunities, and they knock on with the line begging. Well, if Scotland are to win this, they won't turn to their try scorers to thank. They'll look to themselves as a collective for the stubbornest of last stands.
That's right, that's right.
So they bring on one of their gun players.
Okay, so this is the mark. You're on the left. To me, it's okay.
Lucy Simon into the midfield to shore things up. They know that another wave of green is going to come rushing at them soon. But for the time being, Aoife Powrie-Smith needs to get this ball out. I guess their hands in there from the flankers. Ireland are crushing Scotland in the scrum, and now they're leaping for joy with the penalty. And the DJ has got stuck in too as well. It's all going off at Wellington College.
Yep.
Ireland barrel into the Scottish defenders. More courageous hits arriving from the shoulders of the women in blue. Ireland reach through the heart of the ruck, and once again it's Usha Daly-O'Toole. The Leinster woman, the hero for Ireland.
Oh, 1 minute and a half. Yeah, sorry.
Try for Ireland, number 4, Rasheen Power.
Got 20 seconds.
Struck straight and true, and Ireland lead Scotland by 5, and is it going to be another bit of heartbreak for the Scots? Just as it was against England, leading for the lion's share. But now, with it all to do in what's approaching the last play, they've got to win this ball back. Claimed on the sprint by Ireland's number 19, Ruby Asuma. Ireland, they just need to hold on to the ball. They just need to deny Scotland any opportunity to get a comeback score. It's a really tricky kick. It's so well placed, and it's a devil for Matheson, but she just about retrieves it, but she does so by tackling Amy McConkey off the ball. They'll all be checking the time now.
Sounds right. It's right, yeah, yeah.
Confirmation that the clock's red, and Ireland's day 2 of the Under-18 Women's Six Nations Festival is a victorious one.
They were going for the ball, that thing.
England and Scotland, scalps for the Irish women at Wellington College. Heartbreak for Scotland for the second time on the morning. But full time, Scotland 7, Ireland 12. The morning session, an absolute rugby delight.